Welcome to Forward Family Funds. I'm here today to share with you a budget update for February. I can't believe it is halfway through the month, and I'm now at the point to update my planner with how I've been doing for the first couple weeks of February and what I have planned for the rest of the month. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Rachel, and I love to share videos here about budgeting and meal planning, taking care of my family, providing for my family with the means that we have. And I look to save dollars one budget at a time so I can pay off debt, save money in sinking funds for short-term and long-term goals, and add more into our first house savings. So if you love those kinds of videos, hit that subscribe button. For those that are returning, thanks so much for your support and coming back again. Glad to have you here as part of my family, along with my journey as I'm sharing how I'm doing and what I'm doing to save money and reach my goals. All right, so let's get to it. The first thing I have is some cash. So I have to figure out, or I know what I'm going to do with this cash, but I wanted to share with you what it is that I'm doing. And then I have here my paycheck 2 listing, kind of planning ahead as far as what I will be spending my paycheck on. I get paid this week, and it's just over $12.40. So just to be simple, I rounded down to an even $12.40 for my paycheck. All right, so as I'm thinking ahead to what am I going to be doing with this paycheck, I already spent some time going through and updating some of my numbers. So I think I will kind of go back and forth as I'm listing the things that I need to pay for and what I know is still left to be paid. So moving here, this is my list of fixed and variable expenses. I've already filled in some of the totals for the month. So at the start of the month, $1,600 came out, and I already have $1,600 in savings for March. Child support, normally we spend $400, but this month I paid for my stepson's wisdom teeth to be removed, and because of that, I didn't pay any child support. I say me and my husband didn't pay any child support. I had my bank fee of $4.99, my life insurance for myself, it was $36.95. My husband has a policy that comes out quarterly. And then we had our internet bill of $105.95. Our electricity bill was actually $21 higher than it's been. We've been on a monthly payment with them where we pay the same, and it just recently went from $86 now to $107. They had sent me something in the mail saying that some fees were going to be going up, so that's probably why. And then our gas bill I knew was going to be around $180, so that was $179.64. Typically I budget $40, but in the winter months it definitely goes up. I still need to pay my Volkswagen, so that is my lease. So that is the first thing I'm going to make note of, is that I am going to be paying for my car payment. But before recording that, I do want to actually put plus $250 for sinking funds for February. And so I've already done that transfer, and I will get back to that. So $14.90 is the amount that I'm working with, and I'm going to subtract $400 for my car payment. So I know that is something to be paid. My Navient loan, I've already paid that at the start of the month, but I do want to make an extra $100 payment plus a few dollars in interest. So I'm going to put that over here. And with that $100 payment, that will bring me down to $2,500 as my remaining debt balance. And once I do my taxes for 2020, I'm hoping I'll have enough of a refund to pay that off. Or if more stimulus money comes through before then that would be extra money that could be used to pay that off. So either way, in the next 2 months, that will be paid off. But even still, I'm doing every little bit that I can to chip away at that mountain. I've had this student loan for over 20 years, and I am at the home stretch of getting that paid off. So that will be so good in our budget. Moving down my line here, my federal loan is on hold. I usually spend $85, but that extra $85 went to the Navient. For daycare, I've already paid for 2 weeks, though I have 2 more weeks left for the month, and I'm expecting that will be $320 for the 2 weeks, because next week I'm on my vacation. So I'll keep my son a few days, and then he'll go to the babysitters for a couple days. At least that's my thought. I still have to speak with her about that, but it should be fine. So those are my expected expenses to cover the rest of the month. And then looking at some spending. So Costco, I have budgeted $150. I went at the end of January, and I did a big shop of over $300. So I am not going to Costco again until probably the middle of March. I already have a short list starting in my mind. Toilet paper, bar soap, and things like that. Now, our credit card household spending is $1,000. And I do have some that I need to pay down for the credit card. And then our sinking funds of $250, that covers my husband's life insurance policy, as well as some gifts for Valentine's Day and our dating anniversary. So I did transfer $250 from savings in order to cover those extra purchases on the credit card. Miscellaneous, I haven't recorded them here, but I did have some eBay fees and shipping come out of my personal checking account just because of the way it was set up. I'm still figuring out the whole manage payments thing with eBay and what accounts are linked. So I think I've got it figured out now where it's going to go to the credit card instead of my checking account. And then for savings, I haven't really moved that much over, but we have had some extra money in cash that I'll be able to deposit for savings. And then my Yotta account, I do $12.50 a week. It's a investment account where I enter a lottery based on how many $25 deposits I have. So for each $25, I get 1 ticket for the lottery. And then each week there's a drawing, just like with Powerball, and I can win up to $11 million, I think is the big drawing. So far I've won 15 cents, 35 cents, but there are some people who win $40 or $80, or just a couple weeks ago, someone won a Tesla. So people are winning, and I have won a few smaller prizes. And each week for Transfer Tuesday, I do $12.50 now. That goes into that account. And then my husband's van is a $500 payment, is what we try to do every month. I paid a little bit extra in the interest in order to make it an even amount. And then I have a few cash envelopes that I have spent some money out of. So my miscellaneous is $20, and I bought a pair of jeans, so that is accounted there. I haven't spent anything else out of those accounts. So again, I'm just listing here what it is that I have coming out as I'm, thinking about this paycheck. This is a process I actually do on my spreadsheet, and that is a spreadsheet I update every few days. And then in my planner, where I'm sharing with you how I'm doing, I have everything written down. So if I go back over to my short, skinny notes here, I'm keeping track of our February income as one. I'm keeping track of my Yotta deposits and winnings. And then I have my Navient balances that I am keeping track of. And then I have this one, which is sinking funds. So thinking about the Yotta, I will have 2 Transfer Tuesdays from this check. So that will be a total of $25 for next week and the week after. So that way I'm a week ahead. And I think that will be it except for the credit cards. Now for this sinking fund, I had a goal for February of depositing $500, and that $500 will cover my Volkswagen insurance when that comes out in May. So I am very much ahead of time. I will track back to my sinking funds video where I set up my big monthly goals. So instead of saving, let's say $800 a month towards sinking funds, I've looked at, well, in February, I was going to need $250 for insurance and gifts. So I made sure I had $250 in my account for February. All right, so I put that in early January. So I'm already up to June now in my savings goals. And for June, I have a few different things where I needed to save $500. Actually, no, that was for May. May was $500 to finish my Volkswagen insurance. Now in June, I have the goals of saving $250 for gifts because we have a few birthdays as well as my friend is retiring. And then I have a goal of $400 for a trip I'm taking with my mom in June and my son, staying at a timeshare for the week. And then I also have a goal of $600 for my Volkswagen registration maintenance fund. In June, I might even get a different car instead of what I have, or I might purchase my car. And if that happens, I might have to do my registration early. So putting money aside for that ahead of time, as part of those next goals. So for the $500 goal for the Volkswagen insurance, I got an extra $500 for some work I did at school for my job as a teacher. And so I put that money directly into my sinking fund. I didn't even think about how I would use it. I just saw $500, that matches what my goal is, done. And then my new goal was $250 for June gifts. My husband gave me some cash, and out of that cash, I'll be putting $250 into our savings account. And so I might actually drive down there after making this video. If not, then this week. So I'm just going to say 216. So plus 250. And you know what? Maybe I will do school money just to keep track. Plus 250 will be my husband's extra cash. And that means I have now another new goal, which is the $400 for my vacation with my mom. So that is how I'm doing my sinking funds. All right, so I actually, maybe before moving on, I'll just show you what I have for cash right here. So I've got $100 that needs to go back into the savings account for some money that I had spent. And then I have $250 that my husband gave me for bills, and therefore is going into the savings account for the June gifts. And then he also had an extra $12 that was in the, in his handoff to me. And then in my wallet from January, I had $7. So that's going to go into my extra cash envelopes here. And then when I had gone to the bank last week, I had taken out money for my weekly cash or monthly cash envelopes. So I do $20 for myself for the month, which I already spent my $20 when I bought a pair of jeans at Target. And then I have $40 for eating out, though because I'm not going to Dunkin' Donuts this month, I'm hoping I'll have a lot of this left. And $40 is what I have set aside for my hair. I don't have a hair appointment this month, but my son and my husband are gonna go and get their haircuts next Friday. So I probably will give this $40 to our hairdresser. My 3-year-old, he can be pretty difficult at the hairdresser, and she's very patient, and I like to reward her generously for her patience. Hopefully, fingers crossed, my son does better this time. He knows he needs a haircut. He keeps saying he needs a haircut, but then, the act of cutting his hair for him it pains him somehow, or he thinks it's going to hurt him. I'm not quite sure. So it's a challenge, and she's going to get this $40 as a way to say thank you. My husband, on the other hand, he's super easy for a haircut. He just, loves to chat. And most likely, my husband might pay for the haircuts and I'll do the tip. If not, I'll put the haircuts on my credit card and pay that off. Or, thinking about if it's next Friday, maybe the other $40 from eating out in this envelope, maybe it goes towards that. So that's, still to be figured out. And I'm going to add this other money, so $19 into this envelope. So maybe that can also help us pay for the haircuts. I'm just going to record here that I'm going to add in, plus $12 from cash. And then I'm going to say plus $7, which was January cash. So what I had left over. January cash left over. I was trying out a little notebook to keep track of this, and I know some people really do well keeping track. I find I just get too busy, or it's just, I don't know, the step I'm not taking. I track everything here, so it's getting tracked. I'm just not as good with my cash. So having an envelope like this and where I just check it off that I've spent it, I'm trying that out to see if that's a good system for me. So that can go back in my purse, and then I have this cash to deposit. And then later on in the week, I will probably deposit that cash and at the same time take out cash for my daycare, which is pretty much the same amount, but the $350 will go into our savings account. The $320 will come out of our checking account. They're linked to the same, but I guess having that paper trail, the transaction trail, and for my own mind, it's just easier to deposit and then withdraw. If I do it with the teller, she might be like, you're depositing the same amount that you want in cash. That doesn't make sense, but okay, sure. Anyways, so if I think about now, what do I have left over? All right, coming back to my paycheck. All right, so here is, again, my paycheck, anticipating $12.40 plus $2.50 for my sinking funds that I transferred from savings, leaves me with $14.90. I do have about $100 as a rollover. I'm just going to ignore that since I like to keep that in the account. And so I need to subtract $400 for my Volkswagen payment, $100 for the Navient, $320 for daycare, and then $25 for Yotta. Or wait, I think I just added. Let me do it one more time. $14.90 minus $400 minus $100 minus $320 minus $25. $645. So $645 is my remainder after these planned expenses. So now I move forward and I'm looking at, okay, well, what do I have left for, or what do I have on my credit card? That's what I'm looking at. So here is my CC tracker where I list my expenses. And then I have over here, you know, following through with halfway through the month, where am I at for my budget? Because I really try to only spend $1,000 on my credit card, but there's certain things that I know are going to be spent. And then thinking about the sinking funds for February, that would be a total amount of $1,250. Now, this is not the ideal on how I want to do this. I thought about the budget mom, that maybe her system would work well for me, but for now I'm using what I have and therefore making my own tracker inspired by her. I know, you know, there's tons of planner people on YouTube that are also sharing their stickers that I also am drawn to. And I've thought about, you know, trying out some of those kits to see how that works for me. But again, I use what I have. I don't know if I really want to spend the money on that at this point. So again, using what I have, inspired by those, you know, that I'm watching. So I have my tracker here of my spending. So my Facet Wealth, which is the financial advisor I work with, so that came out on the 1st. My husband's life insurance, which I had a sinking fund for, and the extra like accident insurance that we have, that's every 6 months. So that was a total of $156.75, but I only had saved $150. So $675 will come out of our personal budget. I went to Michael's for Valentine's Day to get some Valentines. That was $9.64. And then I also went to Target and I got a few things for Valentine's of $57.67. So in total, that would be $67.31. My budget was $100 because I still have a little bit of money there set aside for my anniversary, my dating anniversary of 13 years with my husband. And then moving down my list here, I have my grocery shops that I did. So I went to Shaw's the first week of February, spent $75.20. And then I did get a few things at Target for $24.70. And then just this weekend, I went to Hannaford, another grocery store near us, for $150.23. So I totaled those and put that under grocery household. I have a budget of $500 and currently I'm at $250. And as I totaled these up, I just put little check marks next to them as I was going through this process. I haven't spent any money on my son for this month, though he is asking to go to his baby gym, and we might sign him up again and therefore start incurring an $80 fee for that month to month. But it's something that he enjoys and something he's been asking for. I didn't have my hair appointment this month, so that is a savings right there of $150. But then I went and I purchased some Norwex items. So these are our cleaning items, our my son's shampoo conditioner, our laundry detergent, our bathroom cleaner. So I did do a purchase and some face masks, some new face masks. So that purchase was $150, just about $149.25. I am a consultant, so I get a 35% discount. I'm not an active consultant, but these are definitely products that I use. and I love them, and I will be a Norwex customer for life. Out to eat is $0. Have not spent any money on that. And then down here, I had also added miscellaneous. So I did purchase a pair of jeans and an avocado peeler for a pair of jeans for my husband, an avocado peeler for me. And that was $11.80. Or I say me, but household for the avocado peeler. I also had a $20 gift card, so it would have been a higher amount. I had found a gift card in my email that I had forgotten about. So that was exciting. And my husband unexpectedly, needed new pants. He's been throwing away some of his old jeans, and it just is the way it goes that sometimes he needs some new clothes, and therefore we have to go and get him some new clothes. So hence on the 14th, we went to Kohl's and purchased him some clothes, some jeans, and some new shirts. So that is tracked over here. That will be a debt now, an expense that I'll be paying in March. I pay that off every month after we use it, if we use it for that month. And the only other charge was a shipping charge of $7.76 for eBay. So I have that listed here. But then when I do my totals, I'll be putting that under my miscellaneous. That's just, I kind of combine some things under my total. So that is my tracker. So right now I'm at $877.26. So unfortunately, I know I don't have that much money left over to pay off my balance at this time, because I only have $645. So I think what I'll end up doing is maybe just $600 for right now. And then that will leave me a remainder of $45 as part of my rollover. And that would bring my balance down to $277.26. I still have a few more expenses for the month. As far as spending, I have, kind of going back over here, my cats of $104. That will be happening in February. My son and my husband have that hair appointment, so if I put that on the credit card, that could be a miscellaneous expense. Our gas and our tolls was much higher than I budgeted because I needed to put some money onto our tolls account. So that was $50. Plus I got gas, and I will probably need gas one more time by the end of the month. For grocery and household, I feel like we have a good amount of food for the rest of February. I just did my meal plan. I will link that in my description so you can check out what we're eating for the next couple weeks and how we're saving money on that. But even still, I know I'll need milk and bread and some salad fixings. So maybe another $75 in grocery expenses, maybe $100, depending on sale items. And, the other things, also getting my husband something to celebrate our anniversary. So there could be, if it's $277, maybe I can keep it around $400 for what's left by the end of the month, with a couple other expenses, right? Paying $600 towards this balance leaves me with $277. Let's just say $123 of expenses between now and the end of the month, which is really just hair. No, I'm that's not going to happen. I'm going to say $500 because I will have the cats as well. So $500 is typically what my husband contributes for, for credit card spending. So maybe he'll be able to pay that off out of his account. Otherwise, I might have to move some money over to pay it. But I also get paid again at the start of the month of March, and that will be right when my payment is due. So it'll get paid off. It's just a matter of where exactly that money is going to come from. This past month I had to, for January's credit card, I paid that off by moving some money from savings and then I replace that money, which is why I have $100 in cash to go into savings that I had pulled from an envelope for child support that we didn't use. So therefore I can put it into savings to replace that. So I'm not quite at the point where I'm able to pay off the credit card within this, this working budget, but there is money there to pay it off. So I'm not quite ahead of the game. I'm a little bit behind by $500, but I always make it happen. And there's plenty in savings right now in order to pull from. I just have to make sure I replace it whenever I can. So that's the system that's working for me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you like these kinds of videos, hit that like button, and I'm happy to share with you about my expenses and how I'm budgeting and what I'm doing to save money, and therefore, make those extra payments and put extra money into savings. And I hope everything's going well for you wherever you are. And I hope you're having a great February. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.